And then we have elections, and then huge change. I mean, the outcome of the election says, in fact, you referenced it. What's your verdict on the last 6 months?
It's early days yet. And I think every time there's a change of government, the government seems to have a period of some honeymoon period, so to speak, and people are accommodating, etc. I think that President Mahama, he made promises, and the thing for him to do is to try and keep the promises. Luckily, we've had some stability, particularly in the currency. There's been an appreciation of the CD, and that seems to have stabilized around 11, 12 CDs. So it allows for planning, etc. Hopefully that continues. I think the difficulty is in keeping those promises, and the kind of political system we're operating in this country basically forces contestants to make promises, and then when they come, they have a difficulty meeting those promises. And that is where then you begin to have the challenge. So far, so good, but President Mahama has to be mindful of how his appointees deliver. It's going to be very difficult, and it's one of the reasons being the processes you go through to become president, and then the appointments you make. So, for instance, I have not seen or heard in the past probably 18 years any minister of a sector or a president criticize or question an appointee for non-performance. And you know why? It's because all these appointees are political affiliates. And so if the person say, let's say any of the parastatals, let's say VRA or ECG, the CEO, being a political appointee, is not performing. Now, this political appointee was part of the whole campaign train of the president when he was campaigning. He puts him there, and the person is not performing. It's very difficult for the sector minister, who is also a political appointee, to take on, say, the minister for power, if there's a minister for power, to take on the MD of VRA for non-performance. So anytime there's a problem with any sector, any ministry, you find the party, the minister, defending the position that, or the mismanagement or whatever it is. I have never come across any minister criticize, say, I will have you fired, or fire the CEO of a parastatal for non-performance. That is the problem, you see, and it's also because what we are practicing is not a meritocracy. Today, if Sally here wants to be a minister, all she has to do is join one of the political parties and become a communicator. The more noise you make whilst in opposition, the likely your chance of becoming a CEO of a parastatal or a minister or something like that. Yeah. That is not a meritocracy. You understand me? So once you have a situation like that, then it's going to be very difficult for the government in power to perform. If you are not held to account for your deeds as a minister or as a political appointee, it means that you can underperform. And that happened under Akufo-Addo. Yeah. You take the cigar companies, okay? All these parastatals, which one of them performed? Which one of them? Maybe SIC, they pay dividends, etc. But which one of them performed?
So what's your advice to John Mahama then?
I think that if you want the country to move forward, you must appoint people irrespective of their political inclination. And make sure that even if they are all NDC, make sure they are given the job on merit.
Okay.
and not because they made the most noise whilst we were in opposition.
Mm.